Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I'm your host of the most, as always, Francois878, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Guandao, the brand new polearm introduced in update 21.1. We're going to be talking about the weapon a little bit, some base stats. I'm going to show off a build or two, and then we're going to talk about how I feel about the weapon aesthetically. Now, the weapon overall, base stat-wise, is fairly powerful. It deals a 90 base physical damage, which is on the higher end for polearms, and that's mostly in slash. It has the highest crit chance, the base crit chance of any polearm in the game right now at 24%. It's a 2.2 times crit multiplier, a measly 4% status chance with a 0.833 attack speed. Now, this weapon is clan tech, so you will have to research it. However, the research cost is very, very reasonable, and you will need a mastery level of 4 in order to use it. Now, like I said before, the base crit chance of this weapon being 24% is great for a crit build. The Blood Rush body count is absolutely one way to go. Maiming Strike also does very well. I know a lot of people like to use Maiming Strike with the Orthos Prime because of the range of the Orthos Prime is so large. The range for the Guandao is also large, being that they're both polearms, so a Maiming Strike build absolutely works with the Guandao as well. However, due to the rarity and the cost of a Maiming Strike, I did not include it on any of the builds. However, if you have a Maiming Strike, you can figure out how to incorporate it on a build. I believe in you. But overall, I found that this was the weapon took a fairly basic crit build compared to other crit weapons. Obviously, you got your primed pressure point and your blood rush and body count for your melee damage and your crit chance and your combo duration. I also have Berserker on there. The base attack speed for this weapon is quite low. Usually, Berserker is a minimum under a 1.0 attack speed, so I had to throw that on there. And Berserker also goes very well with Blood Rush and Body Count. Primed Reach is great on weapons with long ranges because you just it just gets silly. The range for most polearms are about anywhere between 2 to 4 meters. So with an extra 150% range, it gets ridiculous. And you can see in the footage that I'm hitting people easily 6 to 7 meters away from me, no problem. It indirectly increases DPS because I can engage huge groups of enemies without actually being right next to them, and having that long range is extremely beneficial. To finish up the build, I just have 3 90% elemental damage mods of the appropriate types to face off against the faction that I will be fighting. This was a 4 Forma build. It comes with 1 V polarity. I added 2 more V polarities and the 2 dash polarities to the weapon. It was a very expensive weapon to build as far as Forma goes. Most melee weapons, I find I only have to Forma once, twice, at the most 3 times, so I was shocked when I realized I had to form it 3 times, and that's because of the inclusion of Blood Rush and Primed Reach, as well as 3 90% elemental damage mods, as opposed to the 60% elemental damage, 60% status chance mods, which are significantly cheaper on your mod capacity. So it's a little bit of an expensive investment, but I feel like this weapon honestly is worth it. If you're looking for something to replace the Orthos Prime, this is going to be the weapon to do it. It has a higher base damage, and it has that higher crit chance, so you can have a little bit more freedom. You're not locked into having to have that maiming strike build on. You can be a little bit more flexible in that respect. Overall, it's a really fun weapon to use. I forgot how much I enjoy polearms. Personally, I know a lot of people don't like polearm stances. I don't mind Shimmering Blight, which is what naturally fits into the polarity on the weapon. I think it's okay. It's a lot of swirly 360 attacks, and I quite enjoyed it with Primed Reach. That's just me. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that without a stance, the polearms are a lot more stabby. And if that's what you're into, feel free to do that. If you want a more spear-like experience with your polearm. But that's about it. Oh, real quick, I want to talk about the aesthetic of the weapon. The overall design is absolutely... Oh, the weapon is gorgeous. It just... Some of these polearms, the Sidon, the Sorrow, they just look kind of silly. But this weapon is elegant. It obviously is a Tenna weapon. You can just tell that. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, that's going to wrap it up for me on the Guandao. Overall, excellent design, excellent stats. It's the new king of the polearms. As far as I'm concerned, I was never a big fan of the Orthos Prime. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. And until next time, I've been your host of the most, as always, Francois878, signing off.